I don't know where to go.
Alyssa, where are you?
I guess we'll try backstage again. Piano's dripping with blood. Maybe I do something with this. Let's move it again. I've not seen a save. Oh, he's disappeared. Cool. Well, that was lucky. Oh, do we have a map? Seems to be off limits. I wouldn't want to break those rules. Yeah, that's there. So yes, that side door requires a special key, as does the front. Not the back. We'll try that side door, I guess. I didn't see it before. That's also off limits. Kind of annoying that it shows it on the map, but okay, so it shows me that requires a key. Where do we go? There's no there's no places. Yeah. Oh, we'll keep looking. Oh, hang on. Cloakroom lockers with combination locks. That memo might be useful. There we go. 103. The master key. Cool. Probably could have gotten that. Oh, hi, Mini Coop. Yes, we're playing another spooky game. Actually, I'm going to load my save game data rather than save my save game data, because then we can have some more healing. How are you? It is late. Okay. In the concert hall. Right, now. Everyone knows the time stops when you're doing key combinations. It's a master key. So we so the story so far. Oh fuck. That's a bad person with a giant fucking hammer. He's not on our side. So it's the story so far. So we're in the UK. Oh, hello. She's playing piano so earnestly. What's she trying to express? Right, yes. So the story so far is... I'll turn the sound down a tiny bit more. I'll let her play while I explain. So we're Alyssa. We were sent to boarding school. And our mum wrote a letter to us recently that said, do not return to the mansion. We come from a fuck off mansion. Yes, I'm going to return that up. It says, I get the feeling it might be a good idea to have that back in place. We just needed the dead body there for the item. Yeah, so the mum sent us a letter that said, do not return home until you are older than 15, whatever you do. But immediately after we get the letter, we get a phone call from the house. And we like, oh, that must be mum. We must go home. Let's ignore the fact the letter told us not to do that. And we go home. We're going to use the master key. And we find that there is mum's not there. She's popped out apparently. There is a creepy fat man who looks a tiny bit like the fat controller. And he's like, all right, Alyssa, your mum's not coming home, by the way. I'm glad you're here. And he just disappears and he's all creepy. And so we're like, well, super not keen on that, but let's explore the house. There's like magical sigils on some of the doors. We find ourselves a secret like passageway. Our mum's written a second letter that says, well, if you do come home, here's some magic water. So if we can break sigils of magic water and temporarily burn giant fuck off enemies. I've got some lavender, helps. So that isn't a health meter. That's a panic meter. If we panic, we'll freeze, which will allow giant fuck off axe wielding maniacs to kill us a lot more easier. So yes, we now have access to rooms in the house that we couldn't get to before. And then we got to our bedroom, found a picture of the fat man in a storybook, and then some piano started playing, and we're like, where's the piano coming from? And we got spooked. We got spooked into going through a door, and then we ended up in the 1940s during a world war of sorts. And the game wants us to return objects to ghosts. So occasionally a ghost will go, oh, I'm a ghost, and you'll see they're writing a diary, and we'll find a pen nearby, and we'll return the pen to them, and the ghosts will be able to pass on. And we've done that a couple of times, but this girl here had a more complex death because presumably it involved a giant man with a hammer. So she's the daughter of a tailor who's off in the war. She got murdered. We've seen the newspaper entry, and she failed at a recital apparently. So she was the best pianist, but just this one time she slipped up. So it seems like maybe the giant hammer man is less of a giant hammer man and more of a metaphor. But certainly she's dead. So she might have been killed, possibly by her father, I'm assuming. Okay, that's a change of height. We'll do that last. That's literally back where we came from. This brings us... Oh, there we go. Well, that wasn't very nice of you at all. Get up, get up, get up! Right. No, I'm going to load my game. Ooh, we can see where we are on the map. I'm going to load my game. We're not that far away. I don't have to re-explain the story, do I? Let's load the game. I'm quite unlucky with that, where I keep triggering the cutscene before picking up stuff. So, I'll have to do 103 again, won't I? Yes! I've been growing it for a while. It's just that I don't show it on the screen. I don't know the name of it, but it's cut at the sides. And the back. And it grows at the front. It's also more obvious since I've turned... Because I used to look at a screen in this direction constantly, and you can't see my hairline there. But you can see it there. So it's because I'm looking in a new direction. Okay. So we faffed quite a bit. Because we were standing next to the pianist. May, I believe she's called. Yeah, that was her messing up right there. Okay. I guess we'll go this direction first. Well, that's kind of ominous, but there doesn't seem to be anything strange here. Some lavender water. I'm being cheeky. Well, I mean, I'm not. I've only used official saves, but I'm trying not to use up my lavender water too quickly. As I do in real life, of course. There we go. And hopefully, the fact that we push that back up. Oh, shit. We have one left. I need some holy water. Lantern's not lit. It's too dark and dangerous to cross. Well, shit. Right. We'll come back here. I have no idea where any hiding spaces are. Possibly under the piano? He seems to have gone away though. Oh, no, you know what? He did that last time and I completely forgot. Okay, we'll use the lavender because it's what it's for. We've got lots of it. Oh, I take... Oh, no, it doesn't take one. Nothing to panic about now, certainly. Run, 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 run! Okay. He might have seen me go in there. Yeah, he certainly did. Okay, we need How do we get more holy water? She runs faster, but she will also freeze. It's the freezing that'll get you. Now, I don't know how to get holy water, but I do know how to save. Saving is probably a good idea. We've used one holy water, one lavender, which is, I think it's fine. We got over a big panic. But we don't... We'll have to go there again to get rid of him. Maybe it says holy water on the map. The button. Yeah, I can't really tell. It says there's a key. I can't get out, which is where the old holy water was. There does appear to be a door to my left. I didn't think I could access that, though. Perhaps I can now. Which way had the hiding place? Other way. This might not work. The thing is, he is faster than me as well.
Alyssa, where are you?
Not here.
Where are you?
I'm gonna wait for him to go away completely. Oh, he magics away. Okay. So, we need some holy water to open that door. So I'm going to fast forward a tiny bit. There we go. But now we're afforded a little bit of extra time in which to look for it. That bottle probably is for alerting the monster. Okay, there's a phone. Right. Ah. I'll get through. What did I expect? I don't have any money. Seems to be off limits. Okay, I don't... Somewhere I must have holy water because it's not going to lock me out playing the game. I'm sure I... Did I forget to send that thing back up? We'll check. It seems I have to light a candle on the other side as well. Yep, it's been sent up. Oh, hang on. Is that a... Oh. Let's see what it does. No, obviously that just stops me from moving around the top. I was right the first time out. You'll never find me here. Oh, that might work. That actually worked. Right, I guess let's save our game. I'm sure I'm just missing an obvious fountain. I know there's one just outside, but... Oh, I can use the master key to get outside! Cool. I didn't even consider that. I'm glad I accidentally checked. Not that fountain. This one. Now we can open the door.
You're mine now. Alyssa, where are you?
I don't think he's going to be able to find me in time. Oh. Light's gone out. Probably... Nope, never mind, I don't.
You're mine now. Alyssa, where are you?
My favourite thing is that the monster knows your name. Gonna wait for the movie to end. Okay, there we go. Love it. There's an intent behind its malice. Right. No entry to there. He's clearly magic as well, considering the way he enters and exits. Some level of magic. That could be just gameplay abstraction though. I did see the door, but I want to explore the hallway first. What's going on here? Interesting. Can't tell where we are. There's nothing inside. Very nice dress, better not touch these. Might get them dirty. We found some matches. XYZ. My brand. That lovely piano. Right, well, we know where to use those matches. Oh, fuck. It's gone dark. Oh, shit. I don't even know how you get out. Stop panicking!
You're mine now.
Yeah! Fuck you, monster. Okay, we probably shouldn't stick about though. Oh, I see. We're supposed to crawl. Got ourselves a shiny thing as well. Invisibility. Oh yeah, I forget we have those. Probably could make use of that as well. Okay, we've calmed down a bit. Let's... Okay, that might have been stupid. I meant to go in there and I went the wrong direction. It's really annoying. But he did seem to miss me.
Alyssa, where are you? Alyssa, where are you?
Off he goes. Let's fast forward. Get our car meter down, which is clearly cheating. But I mean, you would just stay in this hole anyway, wouldn't you? Just gonna click off screen for a brief second. Right. Gotta light a candle. Who knows how long it will be before the monster returns. Oh, hang on. I'm in darkness, aren't I? I should fix that. There you go. Wait a second, just have to... There we go, lovely. How's that looking? That should work. Cool. Fucking hell! Cheeky bastard. Alright, big plan. Ah!
Alyssa, where Alyssa, where are you? You're mine now.
We need more holy water.
Alyssa, where are you?
We are using the lavender. Okay. Okay, I thought if I wait long enough he might just give up. He did! Haha! I'm gonna save my game again. I should have pretended I wasn't letting my hair grow, and that was just a spooky effect. We're gonna save our game when we get back in the building. Just because if we die, that's why it's gonna load from. We might. But our next quest, our mission, is to go to the rafters and light a candle. And we can go to the other side of the rafters. I think rafters is this way. I'm not 100% sure this is the correct way now. It is the correct way, cool.
You're mine now.
Let's use the matches. Lovely. Light from the lantern illuminates the room. Oh, we do have control as well. Lower your center of gravity. Crouch a tiny bit. What are you doing? Oh. Yes, I know what this is for. Grab these. They can cut through the Okay. Gotta very slowly work our way back. Shit. I wasn't paying attention. Game over. Yeah, we're quite close. That's a stupid place to die. Okay, he's gonna like attack me out of the thing, isn't he? Right. Right in the center this time. Kind of tense this. Yeah, I was thinking of the door that I was going to open. That noise. Oh, there's the butterfly. What up, butterfly? It's got skulls on. Oh. So it seems like the butterfly is the real villain here. Oh, he was right behind me. Don't think I'm going to get away with this. No! Oh, he saw. He definitely saw. Oh, no, he didn't. Don't know where the door is. John, the music's still going on. Right. I can't quite remember where the thing was, but we should probably save it anyway. Oh, fuck you, butterflies. I know your game. Right. I resist the urge to fill up my holy water. Don't worry, May. I'm going to help you. You here?
You're mine now.
I legitimately cannot remember where the door was.
Alyssa, where are you? Alyssa!
He's pleased to see me. Refill. Okay, let's have a quick think before I do this. Where's that door? There's like a chained up door and I completely forgotten where it's gone. Well, we'll have one look for it, and then I might let you go, because it's 1:08. No, it's only 12:30. I'm going to take a break anyway, though. I'll have a search for it at the very least. Possibly a silly place to save my game. Because I've not gained any holy water because I just used it. Where's the bloody room? Oh, it's outside. It's back in the house. Everyone's joining me now. Maybe I should continue. We'll see how I feel. Right, we'll fill up again. Save again. We're going to return to the tailor shop. To the scene of the crime, as it were. I imagine he's going to give up on me pretty soon. Oh shit.
Alyssa!
There we go, sealed off with barbed wire. Let's use the pliers. We're going to ignore the fact that there's a terrifying man behind me. The wires have been cut with the pliers. The piano must have been used for practicing on. He's given up because I've got to a plot-related area. The doors, a roaring fire, carved wooden box. Let's open it.
Daddy, you're home early.
May, I have to tell you something important. Daddy's going off to war.
War?
I hate the thought of leaving you here all alone. I feel dreadful.
I'll be all right. But what about you? You'll miss me and be sad when you're in war, won't you?
Yes, I will. You're the most precious thing to me in the whole world.
But don't worry. Daddy, don't forget the piano concourse is on Christmas Eve. The winner will have their performance aired on the radio. I'll practice really hard and win the contest so that you can hear me when you're out in the war.
Okay, the voice acting's good
That'll
apart
be
from her
wonderful.
voice.
The competition will be stiff, but if you go to your lessons and practice properly, I'm sure you can do it.
I'll practice every day. I've already chosen the piece I'm going to play. Listen. You told me this watch was a present from Mummy before you got married, remember? I'll play this tune on Christmas Eve so you can think of Mummy and me. Then it'll be like we're all together again.
The acting's not bad, it's just that she doesn't sound like somebody that age. Turn the sound down. Yes, yeah, she sounds much older, but it's really off-putting. But yeah, like, so far out of all the horror games, this has had the best acting in. For the pocket watch, still more inside. The Hammer Killer hanged. 10th of September 1941. Robert Morris, 32. The man known as the Hammer Killer was hanged. Rumours regarding Morris's death are widespread. One witness reported he was hanging for a very long time, pulling on straps and making unearthly noises. Blood was oozing through the black cap. The stench was terrible. Some witnesses fainted and were carried out. Morris's first victim was Tony Flanagan, 35, fellow employee at the Banbury stone-cutting factory. On the 6th of June 1940, Morris suddenly struck Flanagan on the head with a hammer, killing him instantly. All 5 workers present were killed in the same manner. Morris disappeared thereafter. A string of similar crimes occurred until the Morris arrest on the 6th of March in Arlington, Hampshire. Morris's victims numbered 12. There were no clear motives to have been determined. Specialists continued to be baffled by the seemingly abrupt change in his behaviour, as well as the extreme violence of his crimes. Maybe I can save May if I get our father's pocket watch to her. I have to take the pocket watch to the concert hall. Repellent arrow. Oh, there's an interesting item. We have a couple of doors as well. They don't do anything. Okay. Very slowly run across. Obviously we should heal and save up. Say something's gonna happen.
Alyssa. You figured me out, little girl. They thought they got rid of me that day on the gallows, but they were wrong. Little May was only the beginning.
Why? Why did you kill her?
You're next.
Right, boss battles. Oh god, none of these buttons make any shoot to me. I can shoot arrows, apparently. I can charge arrows. And I've got a special attack with R1. I'm going to use a cheeky save. Because I can't be confident of these controls. Battle Strategy 1. In order to defeat the enemy, Alyssa must first transfix it. By hitting the enemy with a charged arrow, hold Y down to charge, it's possible to fix them to the spot. Several strategically placed chains will transfix the target, aiming so that the chains fan out from the target, who should be in the centre. Battle Strategy 1, 2. While the enemy is transfixed, Alyssa will be able to carry out a super attack. It is no easy task, however, to hit the target with the arrow, watch the enemy's movements closely, and wait for your chance. Battle Strategy 2. Duck can be used to avoid attack by certain enemies. It may also cause them to become careless and vulnerable to attack. Press the R1 button to use a special arrow such as repellent arrow in order to... Which button's duck? In order to... In the order of which they were obtained? What? It's wise to say... What? Press the R1 button to use special arrows such as repellent arrow in the order of which they were obtained. It's wise to save these weapons for special occasions. What, like boss fights? start holy water. Gain something better. Sledgehammer. Victims 26. Sentenced to 486 years. That's his health. Judgment! Do you know my name? Judgment, boy! Oh shit! Don't press the fast forward button, John. Oh, fell over. I'm sure I'm getting it.
Alyssa.
Do that. Alright. I think I get it. Oh, I don't have a repellent arrow anymore. Right, well that's what you shouldn't do. Right, here's an example of how not to deal with boss fight. Here's an example of how to deal with the boss fight. Right, I thought that one repellent arrow might do it, but apparently not. How do you do this fighting? Ah! Right. Okay. Transfix the target. Once the enemy is transfixed, super attack. Don't worry about the repellent. Super attack. Okay. Bum 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 bum. Third time's a charm. You can't. Ow. Same direction. I don't know how to dodge that. How did we get him before? Somehow I did worse. Yeah, I'm not quite sure how to get that to take. Chip away at him. But it's not doing the thing. Hey, we're doing better though. shit. We were doing quite well then until that. Until we lost. I'm getting better though, at least. How do I escape that? I'm trying. He's got a fuck off hammer. I'm just some poor teenager. Not really a fair fight. It's really difficult to get the distance. I managed it twice, several times though, so... What hurts a lot is she can't turn. So if he approaches at slightly the wrong angle, there's nothing I can do about it. I appreciate I probably should just attack him then. First time. First, if you ignore all the times I died, I got it first time. The Clover of Love. Ooh, we can now have. Don't you dare, John. We can now have 4 holy waters. It's a jewel like shaped like a clover's leaf. It has strange powers. Oh yes, I see. Right there. It's represented on the screen. Right, there's a ghost that needs her pocket watch. Wonderful. So what I'm understanding is that... Oh, hang on. Plot's happening.
May, your father is dead. There was an explosion. A shell. I'm so sorry. Please don't cry. I understand how you feel. I never even knew my father. I lost him soon after I was born, but I love my grandfather just the way you love your father. Keep this watch as a memento of your father and continue to practice the piano as hard as you can. You know that would make him happy.
May. May.
Daddy!
Thank you, May. Your beautiful playing has brought me back to you. At last, we can be together again. Thank you, Alyssa. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yay!
Goodbye, May. Goodbye, Mr. Norton. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Off they go.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Was any of it real? Oh, we're still in cutscene, so I'll keep the sound up.
What was that? Have I been dreaming?
So what I understand is that there was a serial killer, but actually it was just a normal person that had been like had that had his body taken over by some sort of monster. But I don't know what that means in the grand scheme of things. He did make sure to show us that hellish war landscape as well, though.
Dennis? What are you doing here?
Pull me up. Hurry!
Fuck, Dennis.
Phew! I thought I was a goner for sure. Long time no see, Alyssa. I haven't seen you since we were in primary school together. It must be 3 years?
What do you think you're doing entering a lady's residence through a window?
I have to give you something. Here it is.
It's the key to my grandfather's room. Mother always has this key with her. What are you doing with it? You saw her? When? And where?
Calm down, calm down. It was yesterday morning and your mother drove by in her car. Oops. And she said you might come back from boarding school and asked me to hand that key to you if she wasn't back in time.
She must have known I'd disobey her and come back here. She must have gone up to meet me. We just missed each other.
Hey, Alyssa, you've really changed since I last saw you.
I'm going to go and check my grandfather's room.
Hey!
Yeah,
Well, it looks like you've grown up too, Dennis.
how long have you been here, Scoot?
Come
Because
on,
the tone is
that was then
completely
and this is now.
180'd.
Wait a minute, would you?
Dick's room key. Okay. That was very odd. Hello, Screams. Was you here a second ago when we were fighting a monster serial killer? Because it was a very spooky game right up until that scene. Don't know what to do now. We are clearly in a new phase of the game. Did not mean to do that. Oh, so I'm really tempted. Since we just saved our game, I'll show you the start really quickly, and for everyone else who's here as well, because the game is very different outside of the rest of that. So we press new game. So I've essentially finished the first section. I'll go over what the plot happened very quickly. Like, not the intricate plot, I mean just the kind of broad strokes.
Dearest Alyssa, how have you been? I think of you every day. It seems such a long time since you started your life at boarding school. It was after your beloved grandfather went missing while travelling 3 years ago that I sent you away to boarding school and told you not to come back for at least 6 years, without giving you any explanation. It must have been very painful for you, and I'm sorry, but it was for your own protection. Now, your 15th birthday is approaching, and I fear your life may be in danger more than ever before. Please go into hiding until your 15th birthday has passed. I know that what I am saying will make no sense to you, but please do as I tell you and hide as quickly as you can. Your loving mother, Nancy.
Mum.
Alyssa, you're wanted on the telephone. It's your mother.
Hello? Mum? Hello? Are you there? What's wrong? Answer me. Hello? Hello? Mum? Hello? Mum?
But mum's the word.
Answer me. Mum, I'm back. Mum?
Does exist. The terror. So yeah, this is the actual tone of the game. Until random person was introduced.
Excuse me. Are you one of the lodgers?
Yes, I am.
Oh, I'm Alyssa, Nancy's daughter. Do you know where my mother is?
Sorry, I turned the sound up as
Your
well.
mother has gone out. That was early yesterday morning.
Huh?
She mentioned that she would not be coming back for some time.
What?
She was wrong. She won't be coming back. At all. So it's just you. You are all alone in this world now, little girl. My sweet Alyssa. I've been waiting so long for this moment.
Get away from me!
So yeah, it does a pretty good... So you explore the house. So you don't have health. Well, if you do have health, it's invisible. Turn the sound down. Instead, you have this panic meter, and so every time spooky stuff happens, or if like a fuck off monster hits you with a giant hammer, example I just randomly pulled out of midair, then your panic meter goes up, and you have to have some lavender, some wonderful lavender. So what we did is we explored this house. We found a secret room, and we found another letter from my mum, which is like, well, I told you not to come home, but like presumably you did because you're reading this. Here is some holy water. You can use it to open doors with sigils on, and monsters, should you find any, are temporarily spooked by holy water. And then we explored the house some more, and we inexplicably found ourselves inside a weird town. I'm trying to press the button that puts me back to the main screen, and I keep opening up this menu. Turn to title screen. So we end up yes. Let's pick a random position in here. We end up in this one little street. Like we were in a house, we opened a door, then we've teleported to a random street. And there's several ghosts you can find, and you have to return objects to them. So we find a ghost of somebody missing an engagement ring, and the engagement ring's like just over there, and we let them pass on. But there's a more complicated ghost around here. See, there seems to be. We read news clippings, and there's a serial killer going around hitting people with a hammer. And it seems this girl who was playing in this Xmas piano competition was murdered with a hammer. We can't let her move on until we've dealt with the serial killer and that we found her memento, which turns out to be a pocket watch. Her father died in the war as well. This particular spooky music is because this guy's here.
You're mine now.
Oh, and he knows my name. So sometimes the ghost turns up there. So I can't tell you the ghost. But yeah, he's not just a monster. He specifically... Okay, we don't need to see me die here. He specifically has intent. But I got magical girl powers. I managed to defeat him with a bow and arrow. But it's like, the implication is that some sort of demonic soul entered some dude's body and he went on a serial killing spree with a hammer. But that's his true form, Mr. Sledgehammer there. And I've now defeated him as well. So I'm actually going to let you go now, though. This is why I did the recap, because I'm ending the stream. Ooh. And you can see it zoomed in. But yeah, the point I was making is that was a really weird tonal shift when Dick was introduced. I assume that's his name. Also, yeah, everyone that isn't supposed to be a kid is a pretty good voice actor. And the kids are pretty good at voice acting, but they sound all sound way too old. And I guess... Oh, and you can legitimately die on those beams. Like so. The game includes disturbing scenes, disturbing content and scenes of graphic violence. Right, anyway. It's a game by Capcom. This game never came out in the UK. Which is surprising, because they did adhere to the mum rather than mom. Anyway, how do I turn the screen off? There we are, there's Clock Tower 3. Oh, hang on, stuff going on right now. I'm gonna say thank you very much for watching. I'll tell you what, let's keep that on the screen as well. That I've been the John Struct. There's the fat man again. Oh yeah, you know what? This is worth watching one more time. There are 3 clock. There are, I think, 4 clock towers. The first one's like an old SNES pixel game. There you go, that's the girl I just saved. Well, I didn't save her, she's dead. But she managed to go to, you know, the afterlife of her parent, of her father. That's kind of being saved. What was I going to say? Yes. So, Clock Tower 1, I've forgotten who's the Labyrinth? The girl in the Labyrinth. The main character looks just like the girl from the Labyrinth. But it's like a pixel game with a guy with a giant pair of scissors. And the second one looks just awful. But this is the one everyone likes. I don't think anyone's played Clock Tower 2. You look at Clock Tower 1 and you go, oh, it looks neat for an old game. Like, you can see how survival horror kind of came from that. Because, you know, we exist in a pre- and post-Resident Evil timeline. This is clearly post-Resident Evil. But yeah, I can see why the first one was influential, and just that second one looks awful. Anyway. This is Clock Tower. I will be playing this again next week. So thank you for watching. I'll see you next. Tomorrow, I'll be playing AI Somnium Files. Another Japanese game that's going to do weird stuff every so often. Goodbye. Farewell.